number 12. We're going to try and just catch you up on what's going on because event number 12 is going to be a barn burner. It's our last event here for the Swimming and Diving South Girls Sectional, and it's going to be probably our best one of the afternoon. It's going to decide our state sectional championship. It's going to be basically between Franklin, sits in second right now with 186.5 points, against the number one seeded, or the number one sitting team, Duxbury, with 188 points. Only a point and a half separate these two teams, and to add on to the tension, they're going to be racing in the lanes right next to each other here in the final event. That's going to come, of course, in heat number 4 of 4. Duxbury will be sitting in lane number 3. Franklin will be in lane number 4. That's going to be about 3 races from now, though. We'll start it up here in heat 1. It's going to be between 3 teams. Quincy sits in lane number 3 on the far side from us. Sharon in the middle in lane number 4, and Barnstable in lane number 5.
All right, and so here we are, our final race. We, as you noted, Colin, 4 heats in this event. The State Division 1 qualifying time, 4:04.50. The State Division 2 qualifying time, 4:02.75. All 3 of these teams, Quincy, Sharon, and Barnstable, are seeking the state qualifying cut. And it is lane 3, Quincy right now, out in the lead, 27.09. And again, we talked a little bit about the sprint relay strategy. This one, more frequently, you'll see the second fastest swimmer with the lead-off leg, followed by third, fourth, and then the anchor, the fastest swimmer with that anchor leg. And again, in lane 3, 57.33 was that first 100 for Quincy.
And now, Don, as you talk about, if you come in here as the second swimmer and you're on one of the schools that's not out in front, what is your strategy? Stick to your game plan? Do you have to change it up a little bit, pick up the speed, of course?
Well, for all of these relays, it's interesting. The end of the meet, swimmers are tired. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're not seeing them do their best performances, but most often, because it's a relay, a team event, that provides a little extra adrenaline, and oftentimes people will be splitting faster than they might do their regular swim. Again, that's second. So all of these swimmers are going to be working their hardest, doing their best, both for their team and to do a split that they're happy with. So, aggressive swimming coupled with, again here, the same rule holds for the starts in terms of, touching the wall, getting a movement into that finish so that you are anticipating the start. Probably not as aggressive here as the sprint relay, because there, every 100th of a second matters. But all of these swimmers want to end this meet on a feeling like they've done their best. And it is Quincy in lane 3. We come up to the anchor leg. And we'll see where we are at with. So Quincy touches, and they touch at a 3:07.88. So this anchor leg's going to have to be, to get that state, I'm guessing against Quincy's Division 1, but I don't know, have to be a 57 for the Division 1, 55 for the Division 2. splits at 27-67. So gonna give chase to this Division I qualifying cut. Actually, I think my math might be off. Yeah, I kind of have to be home at 24. My math was off. So 4:05:65. Actually, my math wasn't that off.
Just right around there,
but still a 7-second drop for Quincy. Just missing that Division I state cut.
But still an extremely impressive swim, dropping that time off there, or dropping those seconds off their seed time for Quincy North Quincy, followed by Sharon and then Barnstable. That'll bring us up to heat 2 out of 4 here in lane number 1. This will be a nearly full pool here in heat 2. In lane number 1, Dover Sherborne. Lane number 2, Cardinal Spellman. And lane 3, Norwood. They'll be wearing their purple caps. In lane number 4 is Attleboro. Next to them, closer to us, is King Philip in 5. Medfield in 6 with the light blue M on their swimming caps. And Plymouth North in the silver swimming caps will be in lane number 7.
And once again, every team in this second heat is chasing that Division II qualifying time of 4:02:75. Attleboro has locked up the Division I qualifying time, and it is lane 2, Cardinal Spellman touching first, their lead leg 27:95. And probably many of our listeners have noticed a lot of the Division II qualifying times are faster than Division I qualifying time, which may seem surprising because usually the Division I are the bigger schools. But as you and I talked, a lot of the big Division I schools are swimming in the girls in the fall.
That's right. Don and I had a long conversation about the differences between the fall swimming season, the winter swimming season, and that in the winter season, a lot of the girls swimmers elect to go swim at their club teams. That's where you might see the disparity in some of those times.
Yeah, and again, I think part of it is some of the bigger schools, as we talked, Andover, Chelmsford, Acton, Boxborough, you know, they can't accommodate both the girls and the boys during the same season, and so a lot of those bigger Division I schools move their girls to the fall. And right now it is Seekonk that is in lane 2 out in front. Their first swimmer split at a 58:73. Second swimmer comes in, and I'll let you know what that split time is in just a minute. 2:77 for the team, and that was a 1:02.04 for leg number 2 for Seekonk, who is leading right now. It is Spellman, excuse me, that's leading heat number 2. Again, 58:73 for the lead swimmer of Spellman, and a 1:02.04 for the second swimmer for Spellman. And Spellman is opening up its lead in heat number 2. In lane number 1 is Dover Sherborne. We mentioned they were second last year, graduated a lot of strong seniors. All right, at the 300, lane number 2. We're at a 2:54.99. So 54:22. Great swim by that second leg for Cardinal Spellman. Again, Spellman with a big lead.
Yeah, and you also want to keep in mind Abby Topfer is going to come in for Cardinal Spellman as well at some point, if she hasn't already.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that might have been her posting that 54 in that third leg.
That really got Cardinal Spellman out to this lead.
So we had a 58-7, a 102-0, and then a 54-2. So. And a 54 would have been top 4, I think, in the individual race. And Spellman touches at a 3:59.10.
Shaving off just about 10 seconds.
So they will be swimming next week, and that last leg was 104.1. Second in that heat was lane number 7. So Plymouth North, and third in that heat, lane 5, King Philip.
Followed by Dover Sherborne, then Attleboro, and then lastly Norwood and Plymouth North. Heat number 3. Up next here in the women's 400-yard freestyle relay. This will be, as well as heat number 4, full pool. We'll have full 8 lanes for you, and lane number 1, farthest from us, will be Foxborough. Lane number 2, Seekonk. Lane number 3, Ashland. 4, Scituate. Lane 5, Nantucket. In lane 6, Sandwich. In lane 7, Norwell. And closest to us in lane 8, New Bedford.
And as you mentioned, our team scores, we've got Duxbury leading with 188, Franklin second, 186.5. So whichever team, it doesn't matter if they win this race or not, whichever team finishes ahead, because of the way the double team point scoring goes, will be the state champion between Franklin and Duxbury. Oh, that's a heat to go. Oh, jeez. One more heat to go. Well, we'll set that race up.
Keep that in your back pocket as out to the early lead in this one. It looks like it is in lane.
It is
number 2, Seekonk.
Yes.
Who again is one of those teams that's putting together a really good program. Just not up to the level of Canton, Scituate, Hingham, Franklin, Duxbury on this sectional day, but they have a lot of talent in their program down there, and I expect Seekonk to be in the conversation here at the sectionals and in the finals a lot more often in the coming years.
Yeah, and 54.91 for their first leg. That was a great first leg, and they're widening the lead. Behind them is lane 4. That's Scituate. Again, Scituate currently standing in 4th place. Like to be able to crack the top 8 here. I would keep them probably in the top 5. But it is Seekonk, good clean start. 28.64, 149.72. So looking at another strong swim there. Do my math, 55, 54 high, I think. Again, it is Seekonk with a good 15-yard lead. Moving into second is lane number 6. That is Sandwich. And Sandwich is neck and neck with Scituate. But it is Seekonk all the way right now. Getting ready for the anchor leg. 32.87. 252.23. So 102.5 on that third leg. Seekonk in with a 4:01.42. They are well under that pace right now. Again, Seekonk, half a pool length out in lane 2. And it is now pretty tight between lane 4, 6, and 8. So Scituate, Sandwich, and New Bedford.
Seekonk has the stranglehold over the lead still.
And they will touch first. See what that result is, 3:52.09.
Much like Cardinal Spellman, Seekonk also shaving around 10 seconds off their sea time.
So that swim by Seekonk would move them up to 4th place if all these seed times would hold. Again, a 59.8 for that last swimmer. Well done.
As we now approach the final heat of the final event here for the South Girls Sectional Swimming and Diving Tournament from Beverly, Massachusetts. We'll remind you of the...
So set the scene for us,
I'll
Colin.
set the scene. We got the top 5 teams. 4 out of the 5 teams are in this race. Scituate, you just saw, is not. But the real battle is going to be between the number 1 team, Duxbury, who is currently racing in lane number 3, in between Franklin, who's racing in lane number 4. Franklin, they have the dark blue swimmer's caps. Duxbury has the black with the green. You can see Hingham in the red. That's kind of your marker. They're going to be the 2 lanes the far 2 lanes above Hingham. So kind of look out for that red swimmer's cap if you want to keep your eye on Franklin and Duxbury. 1.5 points separate these 2 teams as they hit the pool for the final 400 meters in Beverly, Massachusetts for the championship.
And as expected, they've opened up an early lead at the 25, these 2 teams. Again, it is Franklin with the fastest seed time by almost 3 seconds. 3:48.89 to 3:51.72. And it is 27.28 to the swimmer from Duxbury.
Just
27.30 to the swimmer.
lead.
So 0.02 of a second after the first 50. But up in lane number 7, it's Fian.
Bishop Fian takes the lead over our 2 teams fighting for the sectional championship. Fian, Franklin, Duxbury.
And 56.87 to 57.11. Again, that is Franklin and Duxbury.
But as you mentioned, Don, even if Fian finishes first, it's really that battle between Duxbury and Franklin right now.
That would be correct. So even if whichever team, Franklin or Duxbury, finishes ahead, they will be the sectional champion.
Right now,
it looks like they are going to be vying for first and second.
It looks like it's Franklin just a little bit ahead.
Again, just 0.24 separated them at the 100. And Franklin touches first. They're going to touch at 1:53.82.
Franklin has their biggest lead of the heat.
54.41, so 0.6 of a second lead. Both those swimmers swam 57s. Don't have the 10s for you, sorry about that. But right now it is Franklin that has opened up about a body length lead on Duxbury. Now we have to remind our viewers that the results are unofficial until we see them. So we don't want to declare a champion too early. But it is Franklin. Right now, Franklin
has a big lead. Duxbury chasing.
Big lead. Where did they finish? Franklin 2:48.30.
And the anchor
Duxbury
legs.
2:50.29. So almost a 2-second lead heading into the anchor leg. Again, that is about the lead that Franklin has based on their seed time.
Both these teams, you can see, furiously swimming.
Yeah, the
down
Franklin
the pool.
swimmer may have picked up about a half second after that first 50, but has to do a little bit more damage.
Down the stretch we go in Beverly. Franklin in front of Duxbury. Franklin touches first. Your unofficial sectional champions at the moment. Fian finishes third, Duxbury second. Hingham fourth, Norton to be fifth.
Again, Franklin 341.45, Duxbury 343.34. Both those teams dropped 7 seconds off of their seed time.
Hanover finishes sixth, Nauset eighth, and Canton in seventh. Unofficial times, of course, and we'll give you the official scores and the official results in just a moment here when we return. Relay about to get underway, and we'll go through those before we give you the team rankings to set us up here for the final event. It will be a good one in Heat 4-4. We'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment, and also give you the official results for event 12. Hamilton Wenham takes the pool in lane number 2, Peabody in lane 3, Linfield in the middle in lane 4, Danvers in lane 5, and Gloucester closest to us in lane 6.
And we have the Division I state qualifying time, 4:04.50. Division II, 4:02.75. All these teams are seeking that cut.
So quickly as these teams race here in the 400, where we have a little bit of time. Top 8 from event 11, Reese Phillips from Concord Carlisle in 8th and 7th. Also from Concord Carlisle, Ainsley Hott in 6th place was Artina Zhang from Newton South. In 5th place, all the way back in heat number 2. We've had that a bunch tonight. Song Whitekiss, and finishing in 4th overall, Maeve Hogan from Lincoln Sudbury. In 3rd, Emma Miner from Newton South. From Westford Academy in 2nd was Cara Dominici, and finishing 1st overall, Bella Takata, the junior from Marblehead.
And Linfield in lane 4 touches first in 1 minute point 96. And we talked about relay strategy, and oftentimes for this race, putting the second fastest swimmer in your team first, 3rd and 4th coming in the next 2 spots, and then your fastest swimmer in the anchor leg. We will see what Linfield has decided to do here. Again, their lead swimmer went 1 minute point 96.
Good start here for Linfield as they look to make the switch.
And they touch first again. They're at 2:03.76, so 102.8 there. And you're going to update us on our team scores, Colin.
That's right. So right now, 5th overall with 174 points is Weston. In 4th place with 180 points is Newton South. In 3rd place overall with 210 points is Marblehead. And then the top 2 teams, which is what we're focused on right now, with 250 points, Lincoln Sudbury with 263 points in 1st, Concord Carlisle. All 5 of those teams will be partaking in the freestyle relay in Heat 3. Per the MIAA and our PA announcer, Concord Carlisle needs to finish 5th or higher if Lincoln Sudbury beats them in freestyle relay. Otherwise, Lincoln Sudbury will be your sectional champions. But we'll get to that in a heat or two from now.
And right now, again, it remains Linfield, 306.73. So that was a 102.97 for their third leg. It'd have to be 58 here. I don't think that's going to happen to make the States. And we're getting a big move. 25.97 was the split for the swimmer from Peabody. Off that first 50, just gained 4 seconds off the swimmer from Linfield, who is trying to hang on. And again, we're seeing just some different relay strategies. Peabody coming home, gonna capture that win. Again, 28.91, 406.83 for Peabody. Touching second was Linfield, 409.84. Again, both teams smashing their seed times. Third was in lane 5, Danvers, 416.31. And fourth in lane 2 with a 418.
A little bit of a clock issue with
Hamilton and Gloucester the clock issue.
So we'll get that situated again when we get the official results. But a very impressive finish there from Peabody in lane 3.
Yeah, strong anchor leg from Peabody.
Linfield had that sizable lead out early on. And again, we've seen that here in these longer races, or in these longer events, Don.
Yeah, I missed that last split because I was trying to actually, calculate to see that last relay. And again, Marblehead at Lincoln Sudbury at 250. They are our top seed. If they were to win, they get 40 points. They'd be at 290. So Concord would need 28 points to end up with 291, and that is 5th place.
So it is 5th or higher. Concord Carlisle would need, again, that's if Lincoln Sudbury does finish in 1st for that relay.
Yeah, and right now Concord is the 4th seed.
So it will be interesting down the stretch. And don't forget, you got Weston, Newton South, and Marblehead, all the thorn in the side of Concord Carlisle, who are really trying to have their best heat in that final, or have their best race in that final heat. Coming up after this one, we'll have heat 2 of 3 first here. The women's 400-yard freestyle relay in lane number 1. North Reading in lane 2. Beverly in lane 3. Nobody. It would have been Triton, but they're not racing. Masconomet in lane number 4. Mystic Valley in lane 5. Bishop Fenwick in lane 6. Ipswich in lane 7. And closest to us in 8 is Manchester Essex.
And right now it is lane 4. Masconomet out in a 26.6. Not far behind lane 2, Beverly. Don't know, is this Beverly High's home pool?
I think so.
Is it?
Always helps to be right around the corner.
Yeah, it sure does. Unfortunately, not enough schools have pools attached to them. We need more of that here in Massachusetts. I know, sadly, they built a new vocational school in Lexington, and the old one had a pool, new one doesn't.
And that's part of the problem. We talk a lot about pool time. As a hockey player, It's a similar concept. It's trying to find ice time, except you got way more rinks than you do pools in Massachusetts, and it makes it that much harder for these kids to get practice time in with the high school team, with club teams everywhere. It's a fight to get in the pool, and it's all credit due to these girls down in the pool for the talent, the effort, the hard work they've put in, and the time, the miles.
And as we come up, it is still Masconomet in lane 4. They've opened up a pretty big lead, 158-16 at the 200. And it is still Masconomet. About a 10-yard lead, I would say, over our second place team, which is Beverly.
Not far behind Beverly's Mystic Valley, who they've really had a great outing here at the North Sectionals this afternoon, evening.
Yeah, indeed, and I see Fenwick is a scratch, but they've had some really great swims. Again, lane 4, Masconomet. 2:59.49. Seed time 4:01.27. So can they get under 4 minutes? Their anchor leg has to be under a 1:01. Actually, on a minute and change. Well, based on that split, they should do it. 26:67 on the first 50 for that anchor leg. 3:26.15. Oh yeah, so we're looking at perhaps a 3:56 here. And that lead is extended from 10 yards to a half a pool. .355.63 for Masconomet.
Shaving off just about 5 seconds from their seed time.
Yeah, Beverly second, 4:03.85. Again, another 5-second drop. And third in lane 5 with a 4:06, Mystic Valley. They're a little bit behind their seed time.
Lane 8 finishing 4th, Manchester Essex finishing 5th in lane 7, Ipswich finishing 6th in lane 1, North Reading. That will bring us up to our final heat of the day here in Beverly, Massachusetts. And much like in the South Sectional, this is for all the money. There's a lot on the line. We have the top 5 teams in the rankings right now, all in this freestyle relay. All eyes are going to be on lane number 4, that's Lincoln Sudbury, and lane number 6, that's Concord Carlisle. Lincoln Sudbury, the favorite coming into this one. If they finish first, as you say, Don, will finish with 290 points. If Concord Carlisle wants to reclaim their sectional championships, they'll need to finish 5th or higher.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on lane number 1 with Marblehead. They were the defending championship on a team that included Robbins, Takata, and Wiener, all names we've heard earlier this evening. Again, Robbins are only one of our 2 double winners.
That's Marblehead in lane 1, Newton South in lane 2, Westford Academy in lane 3, LS in 4, Weston in 5, Concord Carlisle with the yellow swim caps in 6, Lincoln Sudbury with the white, that's back in 4, Wayland in 7th, and Cambridge Ridge and Latin in 8th, closest to us.
And right now it is LS, their lead swimmer, out at a 26.60.
Concord Carlisle right in the pack, but there's a lot of racers right with them. Currently, Concord Carlisle does not seem to be in the top 5.
56.22, the swimmer from LS. Concord at 57.74, so a second and a half behind the lead leg. But big second leg here by Concord. They are now ensconced in third with LS holding on to the lead. Right behind LS is Westford.
Newton South and Marblehead not far behind. It's an all-out battle for the North Sectional Championships.
Again, it is LS out front of Westford. Concord, though, making that big move. I think they are now in second.
Trying to edge out Westford Academy, and they have. Lincoln Sudbury, Concord Carlisle are 1 and 2.
152.45 for LS, so that's a 56.23. And again, Concord is holding on.
Their teammates can feel it on poolside.
LS splits 26-67, Concord 26-42. So narrowing the gap. Again, it is LS in first. A win, though,
Trudeau will come in for Concord
will
Carlisle.
get them the team title only if Concord finishes sixth. And right now, Concord is in second.
Looks like it's Hurley in for Lincoln Sudbury, if I can read the name correctly.
And 2:48.25. So that's a 55. Looks like 55.8. So LS is going to win this. Now the question is can Concord hang on? Is Trudeau splitting second? Concord right now sitting at 3:16.66.
Westford Academy and Marblehead.
3:18.96.
Westford Academy and Marblehead closing the gap on Concord Carlisle, but they still have second place.
And LS wins. Concord
It's an all-out blitz.
touches second.
And the Patriots celebrate at poolside on either side of Trudeau, as unofficially they are eyeing down the trophy right now with that second place finish in the final event. And Concord Carlisle down the stretch in these last few events, starting all the way back in event number 8, have just been money. They have been nothing short of perfection. They've come out and swam exactly how they wanted to when they needed to.
Yeah, Coach Jerry Moss down there with his team and his assistant looking really happy.
And there go the hugs from Concord Carlisle, jumping up and down right behind their podium. That's a huge, huge finish here in event 12 to set them up pretty on the podium.
So if we are doing the math again, LS picks up 40, they'll have 290. Concord with second will get 34, so they'll finish with 297. Marblehead, again, they finished third in that race, so that would be 32 points. So they would end up at 242.
In the 100 breaststroke, getting all those points back that were lost in the 20-point swing from the backstroke. So, I mean, if you're Longmeadow, you got to be feeling pretty good about your team and how they're doing. And then Amherst as well. So these two teams going back to back, neck and neck. As a swim coach, we spend tireless hours, scoring and rescoring and going through, what's going to happen here. And it looked like Amherst Pelham, they kind of tanked on the 200 freestyle relay, but they're not doing it. I can see they have their powerhouse swimmers in the 400 free relay, but so does Longmeadow. So Longmeadow's seed time could have been from a qualifying race, and maybe they're dropping some time here, but I wouldn't think either one of these two times is safe. Right now, Ludlow's on the outside looking in heat 4 of finals, but Welper was in lane 4. We've seen a lot of lane 2, or heat 2, heat 3, and heat 2 and heat 3 swimmers come out of nowhere and get second place. So if they can come up here and get a first place finish in a second heat, they can swim out of their minds. It's going to come down to that. So we will see how things shake out here as we go right into the final action here. Swimmers behind the blocks. Springfield Central in 2, Neshoba in 3, Grafton in 4, Advanced Math and Science in 5. Fastest seed time here, separated by only a couple seconds, is Neshoba in lane 3. $50 yards in, it's Springfield Advanced in Math and Science. Have no idea they're racing each other right now because they're on opposite ends of the pool. It's been a very exciting $100 yards down. It was Springfield. And they are still fighting off Advanced Math and Science in lane 5. Grafton and Neshoba are duking it out for their own bragging rights here in their own races. This is a part of the grind, It affects the announcers, it affects the coaches, it affects the swimmers. It's the very last race here. They're going to be getting up for these last ones. You better believe it. There's going to be some really good races in the last couple of heats here. Halfway done with the first heat. It's still Springfield. Advanced Math and Science is lane 5 still. It's going to be Springfield Central versus Advanced Math for the most part. But the cool thing with the 400 free relay is you could have one swimmer that goes 10 seconds faster as the last heat, and then all of a sudden they're rocking and rolling. So at the culmination of this event, we will get to the final results, and we will crown a champion. Whether it is Longmeadow, whether it is Amherst Pelham, it seems to be what's going on here. It seems to be what's going to happen. Then we'll take a pretty good sized break here, about a 3-hour break, before we get into the boys West Central Championships. Will be brought to you at 4:30 here at the Art Linkletter Natatorium. Last swimmers in the water, Advanced Math and Science takes the lead over Springfield Central. And here they go. Too close to tell, 50 yards to go. It's Lainey Ramos from Springfield trying to beat Tara Gorman. And now the other girls are starting to pick it in. Now it's Grafton. All of a sudden, like I said, Allie Schreier, who has been no shy swimmer here this meet. She's doing what she can. There's 25 yards to go. Schreier might be able to come off this wall right now. And she does come off the wall with a head of steam. It's going to be Schreier, I think. Looking on the water right now, Schreier's all of a sudden neck and neck with Springfield Central at the wall. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Schreier. Schreier and Grafton overtake by 0.2 of a second, and they win the first heat with a final time of a 4:18.62. Heat 2 participants getting ready to get behind the block here. I will tell you that Taconics in 1, Westboro's in 2, Agawam's in 3, Holyoke's in 4, Tantasqua's in 5, Chicopee Comprehensive is in 6. Top qualifying team here in lane 3, posting of a 4:11 is Agawam's Hannah, Donna, Gabrielle, and Lucy Shivers. Or Shivers. I like Shivers though. Swimmers down, take their mark, and going. This looks like Agawam's race to win here. We will see how things shake out here in the final 12 minutes of action here at Springfield College. Love the facility here in Springfield. It's almost like an aircraft carrier hangar that they turned into a pool. Now I'm not sure if that's exactly what happens, but I love the pool here. It can get converted to a 50-meter pool, which is nice. Has the bulkheads. It's a historically fast pool here. Agawam in lane 3 still holding on to a lead, but there is some outside smoke actually in lane 1. That is, lane 6. That is Chicopee Comprehensive. That's Megan Kelly, the 500-yard freestyle swimmer. She goes out in a 58 flat almost. She gives Chicopee Comprehensive a lead going into it. Chicopee Comprehensive holding on to its lead with 50 yards to go off the really strong swim from Megan Kelly. Now it's Leah Cabasol. She's being chased down now by the Agawam swimmer in lane 3. As I mentioned, that was Donna Carrier. As we are about to be at the halfway mark, both teams should have their swim teams about just under or just at 2 minutes. And now Agawam pulls ahead. And now the third swimmer from Agawam, she's trying to set a tone here. That's Gabrielle Rulli. Rulli, a really fast kick. She's going to have to do her best to keep the lead over Julian Demers. And it is Agawam now in lane 3. It's throwing me off that there's different colored caps and stuff. Must be a different rule. Fast kicks, big legs. And right up there with Agawam is Westboro's Sophie Robinson in lane 2. So Westboro taking a slight lead here as we go into it. It's going to be Lucy Shevers and Ava Bartos. Caitlin Reitzma. Reitzma's no stranger to these events here as she now has a lead. It might be Westboro. Reitzma, I believe, placed higher in the 100 freestyle then Shivers, but Shivers was there as well. This is a good relay put together from the swimmers from Westboro. 50 yards to go. Little pause going to the wall here. It's neck and neck. Agawam Shivers all of a sudden has a faster pull, grabbing the water, straight arm recovery, flipping at the wall at the same time, but more power off the wall, more like head drive into the flip turn was Shivers, the sophomore. Too much kick, leaving Westboro in the cold here is Shivers, 4:02.89. So if they go 4:02, dropping how much time they just dropped, I think we're going to see a pretty good drop here from Longmeadow. But, however, we don't know if Amherst Pelham is also going to drop time. They have their fast freestyle swimmers. They have their powerful backstrokers. They have their turnover champions in the water. We will see how things shake out in these last two heats. All eyes on Longmeadow in lane 3, but I will tell you in lane 1 is Belcherton, lane 2 is East Longmeadow. As I mentioned, Longmeadow's in 3, West Springfield's in 4, Pittsfield's in 5, Westfield in 6. Lya Doherty, Claire Welper, Juliana Quinlan, and Maria DiPietro. The swimmers trying their best to put forth a time that will compete with the foursome of Rowan Albertson, Deborah Wells, Finley Chambers, and Lucy Smith. Muddle out to a fast lead here. 26-3 out is Doherty, your second place finisher in the 500 freestyle. Loved her walls, if you remember. Nice, tight streamline. Nothing too overly impressive, just does the little details the right way, and that's what we're looking for. And that in and of itself is impressive. Having a swimmer take care of the tiny details. Now she's able to pull and power her drive, her shoulders. Really punches the shoulder into position as she reaches as far as she can. Out in a 54.64. Out and churning the water now. Getting into it is Longmeadow's Claire Welpler, the breaststroke champion. The breaststroke runner-up. She was in the second heat. She won the consolation final. No disrespect again to Sydney, the real breaststroke champion, going 104. But she's out. They're looking real fast right now. So Ludlow trying to get there, but the difference between fifth and first is insurmountable and you can't be caught up. So Longmeadow coach is going pretty crazy over here. Love his style so far. He's going crazy. She's out 151.29. That is impressive here. If we can get a couple 1 minute flats here, that's a 351. They're going to be under 340. So it really comes down to their seed time is going to be substantially faster than the seed time. Their posted time's going to be substantially faster than Amherst Pelham's time. So we need to write this down. We need to know what this number is going to be. It could come down to a very, very close finish here. 125 yards to go. It all comes down to the Longmeadows DiPietro, who had a crazy backstroke. Ended up getting second place, if you remember, in the backstroke. Longmeadow swimmers came to play here. Here comes DiPietro off the blocks. Oh, nice safe start. You don't need to, it's not going to come down a tenth of a second, I don't think. But here's big kick here. Love what I'm seeing. DiPietro, let's go. Come on, get there, girl. Want to see a good race here, good finish, a good posted time. she gets herself anywhere near like a 53, 54, it's going to be great. Ludlow coaches are going crazy. She flips out on a 26-7-0. It's going to be a 54. It's not going to be enough. He said the coach says it's not going to be enough. But he's looking pretty good. Here she comes at the wall. She'll be right around a 3:47. They're going to drop about 10 seconds. If Ludlow finishes 3:47, 3:6. Amherst is going to have to drop 10 seconds on their posted seed time if they want to overtake and win the championship. 3:47, 3:6, folks, write that down, remember the time, because now it's going to come down to Amherst Pelham. They're going to have to drop 10 seconds from their seed time to win it, because it's really going to come down to that. If they don't beat that time, they don't get as many points. They probably won't get it. So 3:47, 36 is the time to beat. That's some good coaching from Longmeadow. I'm liking what I'm seeing. You don't need to be in the fastest heat to score fastest heat times. You don't need to be racing the girls. Sometimes psychologically it's harder when you're ahead by so much. When you have a team like Amherst Pelham who's used to being ahead of the pack here. Coach is ready, looking pretty stoic. I can't get a read on him. He's looking pretty good. It's looking like he's looking around. He looks a little, I'm not going to say he looks nervous, but he's not looking as loose and as fun as the Longmeadow coach is right now. So in lane 1, we're going to have the swimmers from Minnechaug. In lane 2, Bromfield School. In lane 3, the top seed time, 3:57.95, Amherst Pelham. Shrewsbury is in 4th place, 3:58.52. Ludlow gets themselves there in lane 5, and then Monument Mountain. The Mountaineers. I'm sure they're not the Mountaineers. But again, we need to make sure that if I'm Amherst Pelham, you got to make sure that you have legal turns, and you got to make sure that you have some fast swimmers here. Rowan Albertson, Deborah Wells, Finley Chambers, Lucy Smith, the senior. It's going to come down to it. We will see what's happening. We'll have a good indication after the first couple of hundreds here. Into the wall, 27.27. Looking pretty good. This is the freshman, Albertson. She's the one who got herself a top 5 finish in the backstroke. And then Deborah Wells, who won the backstroke at a 58. She'll probably be going close to about a 54. She's got stepping up now to the block. Longmeadow is out in a 54. AP's not going to be out in a 54. They're going to have to make up some ground here. All of a sudden, I'm seeing an opening, 56.45. Longmeadow, if they win it, they've got a lot of nervous faces on the sidelines. The coach is all over the place. He's looking down. You know, the Longmeadow coaches are not looking like they are in the most. Yeah, there he goes, yelling, racing, cheering them on. I don't know. 26.52. Okay, I need to get my stopwatch out here to get these 100 splits. But it's going to come down to it. It's going to come down to a very fast finish. Again, it's hard when you're in front and no one's around you pushing you. Do you have it? It seems like Ludlow had themselves focused and they swam their own races. Didn't matter where they were in the contention. 26.5 was the outspeed, and I will get the official splits here. Moving forward, 29. So that was about a 55. So again, 152. They come back in, 58. That's good enough. That might be good enough. They're going to have a real fast swimmer here. This is what you want. Finley Chambers, she's not the most powerful swimmer here, but she is a very powerful swimmer. Out in 26.79. Oh my goodness, folks. This is going to come down to a very, very close finish here. I'm going to have to look at I'm going to try to get the stopwatch as fast as I can. I'm going to time it with when the board reacts here. I'll get the split time for you. It's the first time I had to bust out the stopwatch all day because we haven't had a race and a meet this close. Oh boy. Got to go a 57 to finish. Out in 56. She's going to have to break a 57 here. It comes down to, can she break a 50? 56 is going to be the time that Lucy Smith's going to have to go. I think she's going to get it. It looks pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Now I see a smile from the Longmeadow coach. Now I see the hands in the pocket from Longmeadow. I think he knows it's over. I think he's talking to John Taffer now. They're having a good smile about it. But Lucy Smith out in a 24-3. It is going to be Amherst Pelham's going to get it here. I don't believe it's going to take her more than 20 seconds to complete this 25. And with 20 seconds to go, it is Lucy Smith. It looks like she's going to get it. It came down a little bit, but that was a really good race here, top to bottom. She's going to get second place. But yeah, dropping about 7 seconds, going a 54.77 for the final swim. That's Amherst Pelham. They're going to get it by about 5 seconds difference between first place and second place. What a race, top to bottom. We will get you the final scores, but wow, 3:47 was a huge, major drop. Now the coaches are talking back and forth, having a little bit of back and forth. Good to see. Good cheering on from the coach. He probably doesn't mean it too much, but yeah, there's good sportsmanship over here, top to bottom. We will come back briefly to give you the final results here of the women's, but it is going to be your champions, Amherst Pelham, on the backs of the 400 freestyle, 3:42. Nobody else in the set. It was a 1-2 finish. It was going to be a difference of. Let me see if I can